Hello everyone, Sully the Scourge here. Today I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of a guide on which profession artisans you should accept and which ones you should deny. I'll be mostly covering the different types of profession tasks available for you, and then covering kind of what types of artisans are really good at those tasks, because uh, really certain artisans are suited towards some profession tasks, but they're not as good in other situations. So you want a healthy variety is really the trick. And I'll be covering which ones I personally own. I've been collecting them for about a month since Mod 15's been on Xbox. So with that said, we'll start with Masterwork, where the money is, basically. Um, so Masterwork basically breaks down into two types. I'm going to call them finishers, the ones that do a final task, such as creating the actual Mastercraft weapons, and producers, the ones that kind of generate the lower base materials you need to be able to try and run that task. So this is an example of a finisher. He has 400 focus, which is what you need for +1 versions. That's determined by your focus. And he's got 360 proficiency. Proficiency is your success rate. Now the key here to this artisan is he's got recycle. And recycle is a really good skill when you're doing that final task. Because in Mastercraft, if you fail that last final task, you stand to lose a lot of money. So while he doesn't have a perfect focus, or he's got a perfect focus, while he doesn't have a perfect proficiency, he's got the recycle to help catch you if you do happen to fail. So this one's a similar one. Here again, she's got 10 more proficiency, same focus, same skill, recycle. Again, she's what I'm calling a finisher. Got a few of those here. Same deal right here. Decent proficiency, perfect focus, recycle 25%. So you see this theme across professions. Now the other type is dab hands. This is what's kind of a producer. Good proficiency, good focus, but it has dab hands. And I'm going to show you why this is a good producer, because dab hands won't actually proc on a final task. You won't be able to get two Mastercraft weapons off the same task. So the way that the economics on it works is when you're doing a lower tier task in the Mastercraft chain. So if I'm making this lacquered dinosaur leather, right? I don't stand to lose a lot if I do actually fail. So I'm just going to slot in this stuff here. So because if I were to have recycle in this situation, I would both need to hit the 30% chance to fail and then hit a separate 25% chance to recycle. And then that only just gives me the opportunity to waste more gold and try again. Whereas here, to be able to get dab hands to get a bonus, 2 dinosaur leather, I'd need to hit the 70% chance to succeed, which I'm likely to do, and then I hit the 25% chance. So you get more value out of dab hands here. And to scroll over to some actual weapons, when I was talking about a finishing profession artist, here you have, I've got a supplement slot in here too, but 70% chance to succeed, only a 30% chance on focus. Now I could get this higher if I actually had the materials to slot in here, the high quality materials, but you see why the +1s carry such a high value just out of rarity. I'm using one of the best supplements for focus. I'm using the Forge Hammer, and I'm using a Profession Artisan that has +400 focus. I've got 30%. I have +1 here. Again, I could get it higher if I actually had the high quality materials to throw in here. I just didn't feel like crafting them all beforehand because I'm not actually going to run this test. But the long and short of it is, recycle is really good here when you're actually crafting the weapons, because while I've only got a 31% chance to fail, if I do fail, I'm losing all of this, which is a big monetary loss. So you really want recycle to catch you. Another type you want to look out for is when you're crafting the actual reinforcement kits. So here, actually I'm going to switch over to tailoring really quickly. What you want when you're making a reinforcement kit is you want a negative 75% commission artist. Now they come in a bunch of different varieties. Here's one, negative 75% commission, right? So this task has 125,000 AD cost, but by slotting this artisan in, it just shrinks. You know, I can make 4 kits for the price of 1 with a negative 75% commission artist. So you want one of these kind of in every profession you can get them, just in case you want to make those armor kits, whatever type of kits, you know, power kits. You just want to collect all these that you can. Now here I've got an artisan. Down the face of it looks like, you know, they'd be decent at reducing commissions, right? 0% commission, 25% chance to negate the commission cost. But the reality is yes, while I might have a 1 in 4 chance of getting a free kit out of it if I get that special skill to go off, I'm paying full price the other 3 out of 4 times, right? Whereas here with this negative 75% commission artisan, I can basically make 4 for the cost of 1. It's just better to take that guaranteed low rate. And these come, you know, there's a bunch of artisans like that all across the way. So there's no really good way to sort these, so I'm gonna flip through them. Here's a negative 75% in armor before we were looking at negative 75% tailoring. So there's a bunch of these. You just gotta keep your eye out for them. Another quick thing to cover, purple profession people will start showing up at your workshop once it hits rank 4. I believe the blues come at rank 3. Carmela, you might recognize that name. She's actually an NPC that's part of the quest line when you're going through and upgrading your workshop. And at the end of it, you get a chance to actually hire her back and choose what profession you want. Of course, I put her on to tailoring because I thought I needed a good tailor, and then a decent purple tailor showed up the next day. I will say that you don't always need purple profession people. I'm going to show you an example. Here's a blue profession person, right? Plus 390 proficiency, plus 390 focus. That's actually higher in total stats than a lot of these other purple profession people. Even though this girl's at blue, right? It's just she doesn't have a very good special skill. That's really where she's lacking. Alright, other things I want to cover is kind of ones that are really good at speed. So let's go over to here. So here's an example. This guy I haven't leveled him up quite yet, but speed is really good if you're gonna be online and keep clearing your profession box, because while rushing towards filling up your profession box is not gonna help you if you're not gonna be online to clear it, right? Just rushing a bunch of tasks and having Miracle Worker proc and keep filling it up only gets you so far, because eventually everything just fills up and stops. So you need to be online to take advantage of this. Here we have a plus 100 speed, plus 25% chance at instant completion or without consuming morale. So this guy's really good at running a lot of tasks quickly. It's going to be good for the Wonders of Gond event. That's why I'm hanging on to him. I'm going to probably level him up. Again, this is a common theme. Here we have plus 50% speed, 25% chance at instant completion. I've got this purple jeweler who is also a speed kind of expert, plus 175% speed, 20% chance at instant completion. So these are the type of artisans I'm going to be using on the Wonders of Gond event, because I want to run those Wonders of Gond profession tests as many times as possible, and I've only got a weekend to run those before the event ends. So that's what I'm going to be using speed artisans for. Now we're going to go and cover gatherers, because gathering is really its own profession. It's got its own interactive thing. The best lowest commission you're going to get is negative 25% commission. So that's why I usually look for in the first place is a low commission, just to reduce your costs as much as possible. Again, the lowest you're going to really find is negative 25%. So I've got some 0% with decent skilled miracle worker just to keep popping off as many tasks as possible. Um, and the thing with gathering is these guys will kind of only get you so far. For the high level 70 tasks, you might want the extra stats. However, you're going to pay for them, right? I've got a couple of purple artisans here, but they have higher commission costs, right? Plus 100% commission, even though she has a chance to negate the cost. This guy's all the way up to plus 200% commission, even though he has a perfect proficiency and a perfect focus. Now, the way you can kind of combat this is just using better tools. I personally don't want to tie up my money into legendary tools. I craft my own level 70 tools in the professions and use them just fine. But the kind of give and take here is if you want to use these cheap low commission artisans and save some gold, you might have to use better tools. Or you can get the better stats off your artisan, but often you're paying extra gold to do it. So that's a brief, quick run through on the different types of artisans available to you and kind of the different situations you want to use them in. I hope you found this helpful. I've been trying to produce a lot more content lately, so if you got the chance, please follow the channel. And until next time, take care.